In a quiet wooden house tucked deep within a small Filipino province, 91-year-old Lolo Andres wakes up before sunrise, as he has done all his life. The morning air is cool, carrying the distant crowing of roosters and the soft rustle of coconut leaves outside. He sits slowly at the edge of his bed, his thin hands reaching for the framed photograph resting on the small table beside him. It is a picture of Lola Maria, his beloved wife who passed away 5 years earlier. Her smile in the photo is warm, timeless, and full of life, a stark contrast to the emptiness he has felt since she left. He traces her face with his finger, whispering in his tired voice, "Maria, remember my promise. I said I would sing our song for the whole world. I'm finally doing it, Mahal." The doctor's words echo in his mind. "You don't have much time, Andres, maybe a few months." But instead of fear, he felt clarity. Before he leaves this world, he wants to honor Maria in the biggest way he knows. His daughter, Elena, stands quietly at the doorway, concern in her eyes. "Tate, you don't have to do this. It's too far. You're too weak," she pleads softly. But Lolo Andres' smile is gentle and unwavering. "I must," he answers. "For your mother, and for me. I want the world to know our love existed." He begins packing his small suitcase, just a few clothes, his medication, a worn-out barong he wore at their wedding, and Maria's photograph. Every movement is slow, careful, deliberate. As he closes the luggage with a shaky hand, he glances at the sky through the window, glowing with early morning light. "Wait for me, Maria," he whispers. "I'm coming, but first, I will sing for you." The backstage area of America's Got Talent buzzes with energy, contestants rushing to rehearse, staff adjusting lights, cameras rolling non-stop. Yet, in the middle of all the noise, everything seems to slow when 91-year-old Lolo Andres steps inside. The crew immediately notices him, tiny, frail, walking with careful, shuffled steps. One assistant rushes forward to steady his elbow, but he waves her off politely, saying, "Kaya ko pa, I can still walk." In his hands, he tightly holds the framed photo of Lola Maria, wrapped gently in a handkerchief to protect it. It is the only thing giving him strength. The producers glance at each other, surprised, concerned, and deeply touched. They whisper among themselves, almost in disbelief, "Is he really auditioning?" Minutes later, someone calls his name. His turn. The curtains part slightly, revealing the enormous stage glowing under thousands of lights. For a moment, he hesitates. The distance from backstage to the center stage looks impossibly long for a man his age. His legs tremble, but he looks down at Maria's photo and smiles softly. "I'm here, Mahal," he whispers, and begins his fragile walk. The audience murmurs when he appears, a stunned hush falling over the auditorium. They weren't expecting someone this old, someone who looks like he could collapse at any moment. But what they see in his eyes isn't weakness, it's purpose. Simon Cowell leans forward, studying him with a rare softness. "Hello, sir," Simon says gently. "May we know your name, and why you're here?" Lolo Andres lifts the photograph with both hands, his voice wavering. "I came to sing for my Maria, the love I lost, but never stopped loving." A silence washes over the room, one filled with emotion instead of judgment. Even before he sings, hearts are already breaking. As the lights dim, a soft hush falls over the entire auditorium. Lolo Andres clasps the microphone with trembling fingers, his breath shallow but steady. The stage feels gigantic around him, yet he stands there like a man who has finally found his true place in the world. Behind him, gentle golden lights shimmer like fireflies, an unplanned but perfect backdrop for the love story he is about to share. The first notes of the Kundiman begin, a classic Filipino love song he once sang to Maria under moonlit nights. The melody wraps around him like an embrace from the past. He closes his eyes, and for a moment, he is no longer a frail 91-year-old man. In his mind, he is young again, holding Maria's hands, her laughter echoing through the rice fields where they first fell in love. His voice enters, quivering, aged, but heartbreakingly honest. Every crack, every breath, carries decades of memories. Some audience members lean forward as if afraid to miss a single note. Others already wipe away tears, moved by the rawness of his emotion. Halfway through the song, his voice falters. His chest tightens, not from illness, but from overwhelming emotion. He touches the photo of Maria tucked in his breast pocket, whispering the next line directly to her. On the giant screens, the producers gently project sepia-toned visuals, old photographs, soft lights, hints of a love story no one knew but everyone suddenly feels. Simon covers his mouth, eyes glistening. Sophia reaches for a tissue. Even the camera operators pause, stunned by the purity of the moment they're capturing. With his final line, his voice breaks completely. He lifts his face upward as if seeing Maria waiting in the spotlight. The last note hangs in the air, fragile, beautiful, unforgettable. For a full second after Lolo Andres finishes his final trembling note, the entire auditorium is frozen, no clapping, no cheering, not even a breath. It feels as though the whole world is holding its heart still, trying to absorb the weight of what they just witnessed. Then, slowly, as if guided by one shared emotion, the audience rises to their feet. Applause erupts, loud, thunderous, overwhelming. Some people cheer, others simply stand with their hands over their hearts. Many are openly crying, a few even hug the strangers beside them, moved beyond words by the purity of his performance. On stage, Lolo Andres bows his head, clutching the photograph of Maria to his chest. He whispers, barely audible, "Para sa'yo, mahal ko." Sofia Vergara wipes tears from her eyes. That was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen," she says, her voice breaking. Heidi nods beside her, mascara smudged from crying. "You didn't just sing a song," she says. "You shared your soul." When it's Simon Cowell's turn to speak, he leans forward, elbows on the table, his expression softer than almost anyone has ever seen. His voice is quiet, respectful. "Sir, I don't think I've ever said this before, but you reminded all of us why shows like this exist. Not for fame, not for competition, but for moments like this, moments that remind us of love, of devotion, of what it means to live." The crowd roars in agreement. Simon continues, "Maria must be incredibly proud of you. We all are." Tears spill down Lolo Andres' cheeks. He nods, overwhelmed. The judges don't even hesitate. 4, yes, votes echo across the theater, blending with the cheers of thousands. And for the first time since losing Maria, Lolo Andres feels a little less alone. That night, long after the cameras stop rolling and the arena empties, Lolo Andres sits quietly in his small hotel room. The loud cheers of the crowd still echo faintly in his ears, yet the room around him is peaceful, almost sacred. He sits on the edge of the bed, holding his phone with trembling hands as he watches the replay of his audition. Someone from the AGT team had already uploaded a short clip online, and within hours, it had reached millions. The video shows him standing under the bright lights, singing with every remaining beat of his fragile heart. Comments flood the screen, messages of love, admiration, gratitude. Strangers from around the world write how his performance reminded them of lost parents, lost spouses, lost loves. Others say they haven't cried this hard in years. Lolo Andres smiles softly. "Look at that, Maria," he whispers. "Our love, it reached so many people." He places her photograph beside him on the bed, as though she's watching the video with him. He touches the screen gently as the final note of his song fills the room again. His eyes glisten, not with sadness, but with deep, peaceful fulfillment. Later, he changes into the same worn-out barong he wore on stage, his wedding barong, the one he also wore the day he first sang to Maria. He lies back on the pillows, holding her photograph to his chest. The moonlight streams in through the window, casting a silver glow across his calm, smiling face. In the early hours of the morning, Lolo Andres passes away quietly in his sleep, peaceful, serene, and finally free of pain. A message appears at the end of the story. He sang his last song for the love of his life. And the world listened.